What are they? How do
Kevin
they hope over
Harlan
that?
is set to join us here. NFL on CBS play-by-play. Monday night action on Westwood One. He was on the call. Last night, he was also in the booth at Mile High between the Giants and the Broncos. He's got Dolphins-Falcons on CBS next Sunday. Then the Commanders-Chiefs, Westwood One radio Monday night. And his first NBA game for NBA Prime will be Timberwolves-Lakers coming up on Friday night. Kevin Harlan on the program. Given that schedule, how's the voice?
It's a little early. I don't know how you do it. Every morning getting up and belting it out, but it'll warm up.
Okay, so you do the game last night. You have the Broncos-Giants game. Then you're going to have the Dolphins-Falcons. Then you got Commanders-Chiefs. And then you got your first NBA game, Lakers and T-Wolves on Friday night. That's a lot. How does you got to kind of pace yourself, don't you, for all of this and the energy you bring to a game?
Maybe a little bit. When I was at TNT, we had the Sunday CBS, the Monday Westwood One radio, and then Tuesday NBA. So it was 3 games, 3 nights, 3 different cities, flights in between. That was difficult. And that was one of the problems, I think, with NBC is that they have Tuesday games on Peacock. And so the Amazon thing made sense in a variety of ways, but clearly their schedule fit what I do in football a little bit better. And you know how the business is. You get going and the microphone's on and you seem to, we love the business. We answer the bell and we do the best we can.
Of all the games you've done, where does the Giants and Broncos rank?
I was talking to someone in the press box last night here in Detroit, and I said, the problem with a game like that, and you've covered a lot and done so much, is that when it's going on and you're seeing this monumental whatever is occurring, is that you're trying to process it in real time, unlike most people that we watch that report on it, have a chance to digest it. You've got to make sure that as you're going, you're keeping track of all the parts that build up to the top of the pyramid and the conclusion. And that's, you just want to make sure you're buttoned down. But 33 points in one quarter is a pretty significant number. I've never done a game like that, and this is my 41st year doing the NFL. Stunning and shocking, because even when it was 26-8 and the Giants were leading in the fourth, you thought, well, that's a garbage touchdown here. They're going to just kind of get some momentum going into, the Broncos are going to get some momentum going into their next game. And it was hardly that. And I guess you need to realize that these guys, once they catch a spark, at this level, they don't let it go.
Give me the difference between your job with anticipation and reaction.
Well, everything for me is reaction. I think if you let your mind go to what could be and make sure that I'm ready for it, that you lose what's actually going on in front of you. I mean, I think there are different ways to handle it, and you've done things like this before. I think the best stuff that comes out is the stuff that is organic and has the true, you're so lost in the game, and clearly you know what's coming up, a third down or a fourth down or where they got to get to the line to gain. But I think that it's truly one step at a time. Handle that play, and then as that play ends, make sure you're previewing what's ahead so you've covered what's happened and what's to come and how that play played into what's upcoming. So, or I've always leaned on the organic side of it and let my love of sports kind of come out, I guess.
I kept waiting for Tampa to do something last night. I don't know if you were getting that sense of, okay, better get it going. Getting late.
Well, Baker Mayfield, I mean, they had won all these games by 3 points or less, and he had come back and engineered these phenomenal comebacks at home and on the road. And Detroit was depleted in the secondary, as people have read and followed the game, missing most of their starters back there. And the kids that filled in were great. The pass rush was there. That offset the loss in the secondary. And Mayfield didn't seem to have an answer. Now, listen, he had Evans was out with a broken collarbone, as we learned later on, and a shoulder injury and maybe a concussion. Ibuka was not 100%. They're missing their number one running back in Bucky Irving. I mean, they had a lot of things that they were dealing with offensively. So Mayfield's arsenal wasn't there, and the things that made him so special early in the season, Detroit had an answer last night. It was pretty impressive.
Talking to Kevin Harlan, NFL on CBS play-by-play. I feel bad having you on. I can hear it in your voice. Like, just hang in there for a couple more minutes, Kevin.
No, for you, I'll do anything. When I saw this, I go, gosh, I'm not very good in the morning, and there's a lot of stuff that's got to be cleared out.
But you go from pacing with TV, a game on radio, and then you go to NBA pacing. How do you kind of, is there any real adjustment for you when you're doing those different games on different, whether TV or radio and different sports?
Football is such a march, and I think that just for me personally, I'm probably better with a cadence and a rhythm and a flow and those kinds of things. And I try to bring more of that to football because to my ear, it's pleasing on basketball when it's like a running conversation. So for all these years I was with Reggie, and we really felt like there was a nice rhythm established. We had so many years together. And when it's like that in the NBA and the game flows, it just flows so well. The one thing about college basketball is that the kids don't shoot as well and the clock is longer. So there's more time for an analyst to get his moment in, yet you can pick up the play with about 8 seconds on the shot clock, and that rhythm establishes itself. And it really is pleasing from a broadcasting standpoint. NBA is like a windshield wiper, right? It's just back and forth, baseline to baseline, but there's a rhythm that is established there. In the NFL, it's more like a march. And, there's a segment where the analyst talks and then you talk, and you want to get out quickly and be efficient, let him get back to what he's saying, because it's an analyst-driven medium in the NFL on TV. Basketball, I feel it's a 50-50 split, but in football on TV, it's analyst-driven.
How hard is it to picture an NBA post-LeBron?
Hard. He's going to be out the first 3-4 weeks of this season, and every promo I see by all the networks, it's LeBron making a play. He's not going to be there in November or till November, late November maybe. No October basketball for him. And it reaches even further than that. Curry and KD, this is the twilight of their careers. And I don't know that anyone has stepped up. There are many candidates to go in there and fill in that void, but it's coming when they're gone. And so much of the league is built on those three players. And it's going to be hard to see, like it was when Kobe retired and before that, Michael and on.
Have you ever used your voice for preferential treatment?
For preferential treatment? No.
No. Restaurant?
No. It is recognized from time. I'm not recognized, but when I open my mouth, so my wife says that should be an indication. Don't talk. Just like at home, you talk all the time when you're on the road for your work. When you come home, you're still talking. Let's quiet. Let's have quiet time.
So you don't say I'll take the Caesar salad.
No. How do you sound so good all the time? Man, I've told you this before. I admire you so much. What's the best part of your show are your questions. And people probably don't. They just think it's just the flow. But when you're doing this show, those questions, and they're so efficient, every kid in broadcasting should listen and copy that style. I told you that before, but I really admire it. And I'll write on, if I'm ever doing an interview myself, and I don't do many, I'll put literally, swear to God, DP on the top of my board to remind myself, be efficient, get to the point, and think as you go along, as opposed to having 15 planned questions.
Great. That's what I teach my students. Economical, open-ended questions, and you're not the important person. The person you're speaking to is. Now, Go home, rest your voice.
I will.
You don't have to use it until, Friday night?
No, I got shows during the week I've got to do, but
no.
but Friday night, yeah. Friday, then fly to Atlanta on Saturday.
And once again, if the voice goes, I got your doppelganger here. Fritzy is ready to go. How about Lakers Timberwolves, Todd?
The Timberwolves are on an 11-3 run. The Lakers want to talk about it. This is the NBA on Amazon Prime Video.
Okay, let me just say something about that. This will be I have never, ever, ever said, and they want to talk about it. I think he's channeling. I think he's channeling a little Marv.
Okay.
But I have never. I said I've heard that before. I've never said that. I've never said they want to talk about. I said. Whatever I've said, they've called a timeout, but I don't think
Todd.
We'll pay some bills and step aside. This is the NBA on Amazon Prime Video.
Have you said that before?
No. But it's fun hearing him say it. I'm enjoying that. I like that.
Great to talk to you. Thanks for getting up with us, and safe travels.
Thanks, Dan. Always a pleasure and great listening to you.
Kevin Harlan and Todd Fritz.
Good sport.
Thank you. Yes. I do love you doing his impersonation to it. I do love that.
I have never said that in my entire life.
Rockets are getting 6.5 at the Thunder. Over-under with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander Jr. III is 32.5. Kevin Durant, 23.5. Warriors, -2.5 at the Lakers. Luka Doncic, 30.5 over-under. Steph Curry, 26.5 over-under.